And welcome in everybody, and happy new year to everybody. Welcome to the new year, and yes, it is that time with some more Brown Dust 2 content updates. I saw that they were doing a live stream. Unfortunately, I wasn't awake because they streamed it at like 8 a.m. my time, and I wasn't awake. I was gonna watch it, and then I was going to do this video, but I kind of slept in and went to bed late. I got hung up on some online gaming last night. But anyway, let's get into it. So Brown Dust 2 is having their New Year updates, news, and plans for what's going to be worked on. I'm very much looking forward to it myself, and also I'm going to show some things here and there, as well, images. Now, mind you guys, there's some images that I probably can't show just because last time I actually did my live stream for Brown Dust 2 on my YouTube channel here, I got hit with the age restriction because it was due to Lowen's interaction scene. Apparently, it was too spicy, right? It was too spicy, so I was hit with it. Now, that's why I'm gonna be a little bit more conscientious. Conscientious. My goodness, is that how you say it? Is that how you pronounce it? Did I just butcher that word? But anyway, I'm gonna be a little bit more careful with what I do here because obviously I don't want to get in trouble for anything. But anywho, let's hop into it. So as we can see, these are the new updates, and they're gonna talk a little bit of each of them. I watched up to like about an hour and I think like 15 minutes, um, because I wanted to watch the rest of it like along with this video. So we're gonna get an Onsen event pack, Hot Springs. So like I'm very happy with this one. We got the Onsen costumes, and my goodness, when I saw who was gonna be in this new event pack, I was blown away. It blew my mind. I was like, it's about time when I actually when I saw this. So yes, I get very excited because I've been wanting to have these two characters from the main story playable for the longest time. Okay. Um. Also, a new mini game is gonna be announced, but anyway. Um, we'll hear what they have to say. So let's get to it. Like and subscribe. It does help me out a bunch. And Happy New Year.
일단은 이미 대기 영상 보시면서 어느 정도 짐작하셨을 거라고 생각이 되는데요. 저희가 이번에 이제 온천 업데이트, 온천 시즌 이벤트 업데이트를 준비를 했고요. 보다가
So I'm just gonna skip to the main points that I found. So here we have the winner of the popularity poll, by the way, and I just wanted to show you what was going to be talked about, by the way. That's why I started the video like that. But so we got Eclipse. Eclipse won. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Eclipse did come in first place. Now I'm not mad at it. I love Eclipse, just like anyone else, right? However, I voted for Mikaela. I actually voted. I voted for Mikaela's wedding costume. I voted for her wedding costume because we have already two of her, like two of her costumes, and I know Eclipse has three, so I wanted to. I voted because my personal preference was like balancing it out, so to say. So I voted for Mikaela throughout the entire popularity poll. You know what the thing was about this? So the day before, it was the last day to vote. Lowen was actually in first. Levia was in second, and Luvencia was in third. And then Nebris was in fourth, and then Eclipse actually was in fifth place. She was in fifth. So like the next day when I saw the announcements, I was like, I was like, wow, what happened there? Like that was quite a leap, fifth to first. Like, damn. But anyway, Eclipse, she is going to be the new +5. She's gonna be the one that's gifted, where you can +5 her for free. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I am too. I love Eclipse. I just didn't expect that to happen. When the last time I saw that, the day before, literally, it was the day before, she was in fifth. But anyway, this is the news for the popularity poll. Let's skip around here. There was a lot of talk about. Oh yeah, I can't show some of that because YouTube. They talked about basically like what we found popular with like the mini game events and the interaction scenes, what could be worked on, and things like that. Um, I don't know. Okay, so for the mini game event, I didn't find it difficult. In all honesty, I think it was fine the way it was. Um, I don't know if people found it difficult. It's supposed to be a challenge, mind you. It's supposed to be a challenge, especially like this type of Vampire Hunter survival type mini game. It's supposed to be a challenge. Like you look at Nikkei's, anybody that plays Nikkei as well, they have the one for there too in their archive system. So that's actually tough too. Like but it's a challenge. It's supposed to be. You know, I played it before. I played Nikkei. I stream it. Um, but yeah, I didn't think it was too difficult. In fact, I hope they don't really make it too easy. I don't know if they'll like modify it or something, but I found it was fine the way it was. I had a lot of fun doing it. Also, they talked about the reward system being a thing for completing upon the stages. Now, I personally didn't really think it needed to have rewards. I thought it was more for like something to do for fun, on the side. Um, and like, say if you like did your dailies and everything, you don't know what to do. You just like pop in to some Pandora escape, and you just go at it. Really, I didn't see like I said when I was doing the survey, I was like maybe just put gold. Doesn't gotta be a lot. Doesn't gotta be 10 million gold or something. Okay, I just put some gold. That's all. And we don't have to get tickets for it or stuff like that or crystals. I found it was just for pure fun, for relaxing, for something to do on the side. You know what I'm saying? Um, and if they did add some gold here, like 10,000 gold as reward, that'd be okay. But other than that, I didn't see a point in that because they were saying that um, a lot of players would have preferred to have some reward for it. But hey, the survey's there for getting opinions across and stuff. So that's what it's there for. So the interaction scenes, they did talk about that. Now, like I said, I can show this scene, right? I can show this, and a lot of people actually were very fond of the first person perspective. They talked about that too, and obviously we see these are two of the wallpapers you can unlock in their interactions stories. So I didn't find it bad either. Honestly, I found it to be it was fresh because from the main story aspect of it. Because like to be honest with you guys, I never would have wanted to have like an MC put into. Well, what I mean by MC, I mean is like how the adjutant is in Snowbreak Containment and everything. Like I preferred it being like the way it is with the story. Having all the characters. There's no like one type of like harem route sort of thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I prefer it to be the way it still is in the main story. In fact, I find it so much more engaging that way, because it's a lot more serious with things. And then you have like, the the paradoxal like worlds with like, and then those are more for like, entertainment, for fun, for laughs. And I think they really do balance that out a lot. So I personally found then the Gluppy Diner to be another one of those things where it was like it was separate from everything else, and that's what I love about it. I prefer it that way. That's me though. That's me. I honestly I prefer it to stay that way, and keep the stories coming. Like honestly, these interactive scenes, obviously there's some spicy stuff, some some spicy content, and obviously very beautiful art as well. They never fail in that. And also I was saying too when I was streaming Brown Dust 2 and the interactive scene on my Twitch channel, I was talking about how, Morphia, I love to see, like, in all honesty, I loved how Morphia had this different side of her, because the Morphia we all know from the main stories, like, she's just pure evil, right? And even in Nightmare Winter story, like, she was also, she's evil in that. The summer event that they had, the Click Click one, she was also, despite how, yes, I mean, she wasn't, like, full on evil, she still was, like, she still had that, like, really, that evil sense, because even in her animated scene, she never smiled. You know what I'm saying? She still had that like, cold stare and everything. But then when you go to her interactive scene and everything, you actually see she has this very shy side. She's very, she can get embarrassed, and she could smile too. Like she can actually smile, and seeing Morpheus smile is like, wow, you know? And that's why I found Morpheus' story a little bit like more engaging than Lowen's. Now I don't have Nebris, so I can't really say about Nebris, but when I'm talking about personality wise and like change in that, then the changes from what I saw, with Morphia, I found to be the best. And that's why I loved it so much, you know? And like, I mean, look at this side. Look at this face she's making. It's like that embarrassed, shy look, and you never see that. You like never see that happen, right? You never see it. Um, okay, so what else? Let's see here. So these were the polls that they were going to talk about here. This is the mini game. It said this took them 4 months to plan, by the way, right? And I feel all their efforts did pay off in the end. And like I said, the reward system, I don't think it really needs one. I think this is like just more for fun too. And they even talk about that as well. He mentions it, and I really felt like this was just perfect. I felt it was
충전
perfect.
컨텐츠가 아니라 상시 컨텐츠로 업데이트해달라는
Yeah.
요청도 많이
So this is where they were talking about it,
받고 있는데요. 시즌 이벤트 미니게임이랑 또 시즌 이벤트 스토리도 기간 종료 이후에
But I enjoyed it. I honestly enjoyed it.
검토를 하고 있고요. 앞으로 더 재밌고 완성도 높은 미니게임 준비하고 있으니까 많은 기대 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 저도 이제 계속 봐왔지만 이렇게 완성도 높은 미니게임이 준비되고 있어서 이 다음 미니게임도 정말 완성도가 높게 잘 준비되고 있는 것 같아서 깜짝깜짝 놀라고 있는데, 네, 그런 내용들도 좀 이따 바로 만나보실 수 있게 준비하도록 하겠습니다.
네.
다음 내용 보도록 하겠습니다.
Okay, so this was the story, the event story that they have currently. So the thing is, so currently right now, I didn't do this yet. I am going to be doing this, however, after I make this video and it's uploaded. So obviously, if you watch this now, there you go. But I am going to be posting the story on my YouTube channel here. So, it'll be there. It'll be there. But from what I'm seeing, though, yes, they do have the visual novel look to it. And already I'm like loving it. And this actually did receive a lot of positive vibes. That's what they were talking about, basically. There was a lot of positive feedback from this, and for good reason too. I enjoy it a lot. In fact, I do enjoy it, and I think that because like even what they were talking about during their 1.5 anniversary, they even said that more players wanted to see the characters on screen more, because that was like a big. It was like I wouldn't say an issue, but it was something of. You couldn't really admire the characters in the main story because, like, even when they had like their, where you could see them in a visual novel form, they were only really up there for like 10 seconds at most, and then it was over. So seeing them here like this, I think it's a better direction for it, and I hope to see more of this from now on. Now that's me, guys. That's my opinion, and
그
talking about that.
메모리스 엣지랑 굿바이 프리덤 스토리는 즐겁게 보셨나요? 종원님은 좀 어떠셨는지 얘기 듣고 싶어요.
네, 사실 메모리스 엣지 팩도 그렇고 굿바이 프리덤도 시즌 이벤트도 사실 아쉬운 부분이 없느냐 하면은 그렇지는 않은 것 같습니다. 조금 더 잘 표현할 수 있는 여지가 있었다고 생각.
So what they were talking about with this is this was something I stated even too in my on my streams on Twitch even. So they're talking about like having the stories and mini games from events like seasonal ones be a permanent being permanently unlocked. That's what I gathered from hearing this and reading the subtitles. So in all honesty, I would love for that to happen. I'm not gonna lie about that because a lot of their stories are really, really good. That Nightmare Winter one, and then it ties into the Memory's Edge story. It was really great. I had fun with it, a lot of fun, you know, and to see it not like be unlocked permanently, it kind of saddens me because say if like there's new players that come in and join the game, right? Um, they don't really know anything about it. They would either have to watch it on YouTube or they would have to just wait and see, you know, for the next season that it'll be unlocked. And then that's the only way that they can really play it. And, you know, as time goes on, it's like usually waiting. You know, a lot of people don't really like to wait for things like that at times. Not saying everybody, I'm just saying, you know, there are some majority of people out there that don't really want to wait and then they kind of lose interest, you know, if it's like unlocked, you know, you can just straight up go enjoy the story and be like, wow, you know, and experience it. Because it's a lot different than watching somebody, you know, stream it or play it rather than the person themselves, you know, doing it themselves. Because it's a different experience. It really is. It's a totally different experience, you know?
생각을 하고요. 그런 부분에서 좀 아쉬운데 출시된 이후에 그래도 게임에서 직접 플레이했을 때 예상 이상으로 제가 준비해서 이런 느낌이겠지 하고 생각해서
Yeah, see, I'm looking forward to this one as well. More mini games in the future.
준비했던 어떤 느낌들보다 더 좋게 표현된 부분도 있었지만 조금만 더 신경 썼으면 좋았을 걸 싶은 부분들도 약간은 있었던 것 같아요. 그래서 이번에 좋았던 부분, 아쉬웠던 부분 모두 잘 참고하고 보강해서 다음 스토리는 더 맛깔나게 작업해 볼 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
솔직히 언니는 내줘야 한다. 저 의견 참 많이 본 것 같아요.
네. 뭐 저희가 그런 사례가 없는 게 아니니까 NPC로
네.
나왔다가 이제
네.
구현되는 게 없는 게 아니니까
네.
네. 성원이 많이 계속 연결되면 이어지면
네.
고려해 볼 수 있을 것 같습니다.
네.
네. 다음 내용 진행하겠습니다.
So they even said that there could have been some more improvements upon the story, but like, hey, you know, this is their first time doing a visual novel look to it. So like I said, you know, I thought it was really nice, you know, to see that. But like I said too, you know, I'm gonna go and play it. But what I'm currently saying is I love the visual novel look to it. That's what I'm saying. So I'll see what they mean by that. But also I'm gonna enjoy it to the fullest. Because, you know, Levencia and Levia, they're like that new duo now. Like, in my eyes, they're like that new duo here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this was the surveys that were mentioned here.
네. 다음은 이제 저희가 1.5주년 맞이하면서 이제 유저 여러분들의 의견도 당연히 열심히 듣고 있습니다. 아직 설문조사가 진행 중이지만은 좀 더 이제 이런 방송에서 어떤 결과가 나왔는지를 좀 공유해드리기 위해서 저희가 중간 결과를 가져왔습니다. 흥미로운 내용들 위주로 몇 가지 추려서 빠르게 공유 드리려고 하는데요. 중간 결과이고 최종 결과는 저희가 공식 커뮤니티를 통해서 따로 공유를 드리도록 하겠습니다. 그러면 바로 내용 보도록 하겠습니다.
네.
네. 저희가 먼저 저희가 이제 이 설문조사를 위한 방송은 아니다 보니까
네.
빠르게 보기 위해서 일단 문항을 영어로 좀 준비를 했고 좀 밑에 결과도
So as you guys can see, Memory's Edge received a lot of positive feedback here, and like I said, for good reason too. You know, my personal take on it was seeing a different side of Morphia in the end of the story, and also another thing I mentioned was like, well, in my Twitch videos was that I loved to play from like the villain or the villainess's like perspective in the story, you know. Because, like, how we're always playing, obviously, as the hero side and, you know, the good side, right? It was nice to play as Morphia and be, you know... Because, like, you know what happened when she, like, turned back and remembered everything. She then went to, you know... She went to go and turn back to, what's his face? The cockroach-looking dude. That's what I call him, man. I think his name is Burke. Yeah, Burke. When she went to go find him to make a deal with him, you know. But it was like you were able to play as her like villainous side, correct? And I really actually enjoyed that. You know, it was a little different. That's what I'm saying. It was like a little different to play from, you know, the side of, you know, the bad side, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't for that long, it was nice to be in that perspective setting, you know. Goodbye Freedom, like I said, I have to still do the story, but I'll have it uploaded for you guys in case you guys want to watch it all. And yeah.
좀 따봉으로 표시를 한 점 좀 양해 말씀을 드리고요. 좀 설명을 바로바로 빠르게 드리도록 하겠습니다.
네. 제가 좀 궁금해서 더 섬세하게
Okay, I just skipped ahead because just to just kind of discuss a little bit of this. Gluppy's Diner. So yeah, this is the first person point of view here. So like, I actually enjoyed it as well. First person, like I said, the Gluppy Diner. It's like kind of that separate reality from like the main story content and from the parallel worlds, right? Um, and like I said, it's balanced. Meaning they don't incorporate any of this of the of a permanent type MC in the main story and stuff like that. I prefer it being all separated and everything like that. That's my take on it, and I think they did a very balanced and really great job on that. Gluppy's Diner. I don't know what you guys thought about it. I love it. I love the fact that you can have all your other costumes besides the main story ones be in the diner, and you can see them. Also, it has a lot of great vibes to that diner. Like, seeing everybody, like all the customers from like different types of like settings, because like you see the maids and then you see like people from like different areas of the maps the maps from the different event packs and stuff. Like they're all different, right? But it's like they're all there to just like eat food. You know what I mean? It's like it's very, and also it's like so many customers coming on in. It just legit feels like this huge like diner area. And like I said, it's like all connected to different types of maps and worlds, and that's why you see all these different types of like customers all dressed, because like not all of them are dressed the same. You can legit tell that they're all from different types of story packs, and I really love that. All those NPCs, so to say. The one thing though that I put in my survey for this was I would like to see the costumes or the characters that come to the diner. Every single day. How they're different. Like it's always different. They always basically you could say it's even a type of RNG. Costume viewing when they come on in, because you don't know who's going to come on in. It's randomized. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. So what I would like to see is, instead of them always going to sit down, maybe they could like walk around, do maybe have a drink, or maybe get some food, like seeing them walk, getting a plate of food, sitting down, and even talking with the other characters that are with them. Like kind of like how when you think about the Sims, how like in the Sims they have like their own way of freedom. You know what I mean? Like they don't just sit there or just stand there doing one thing. Like in the Sims, they have a mind of their own, really. Like they're free. They have this freedom, right? Oops, I just like scratched my mic. but that's what I'm trying to say with that. I would like to see that. I would think that would be a cool way to see it be more like, oh, they're like interacting with other characters or even NPCs. Maybe talk to oh my gosh, what's her name? Begins with a V. She's the elf, the new the one that we woke up to in the diner. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot her name too. I do apologize. I think it's Velnya. I'm gonna have to look this up now. I'm gonna have to look this up later. But you know what I mean. Like the customers can, like, if they're sitting at the bar with her, they can like have this conversation. Like you can see like a little bubble above them talking. Maybe like that's what I was thinking about. I know it's quite a lot, but when I think, I get imaginative, right? But that's what I was thinking about it. The glue talk, I think it's perfect the way it is. The glue talk I found, as of now, and obviously you see this, you see this really big popularity here with the survey with it. I think it's perfect the way it is as of now. Now maybe somewhere down the line, like whoever you're in glue talk with, because I know obviously they're going to be adding more characters to do interactive scenes with. I was thinking maybe, what if they added where the characters send pictures through the phone, right? Like they send pictures through the phone to and that could be a thing. You know what I'm saying? And now, obviously, they don't got to go too crazy because, like, what I mean by that is, like, because obviously the interactive scenes and even some of the wallpaper, they are spicy. So maybe it doesn't have to be so spicy in, when they send images through, like, a text here. But I'm not going to say that's not something I wouldn't like to see. Because, you know me, I would love to see it. But, I thought about it, maybe they could send, like, a little, something in the, like, instead of always a text message, it could be maybe a one picture or two pictures for every so and so stage you reach. So like when you reach 3, you know how there's 3 in a day, you get to do 3 interactions a day with Glue Talk. So like every, let's say 3, you can get an image that the girl text you, like the character text you back, and another image like after another 3, maybe something like that. Some ideas there. I'm spitballing them. But obviously, regardless, it received a lot of positive feedback. So I'm really happy to see that too. It makes me happy.
다듬어야 할 부분들이 있다고 생각을 했어요. 예를 들어서 출시 전에 고민했었던 부분 중에 하나인데 이게 각 캐릭터의 메신저가 동시에 진행이 되잖아요. 그래서 동시에 여러 캐릭터들과 동시 연애를 하는 듯한 느낌에 대해서 일부 이제 저희 담당자분들 의견도 거부감이 있을 수 있다라는 부분이 있었는데요. 이게 이제 게임적 허용으로 받아들일 수도 있지만 좀 더 섬세하게 접근을 하려면 한 캐릭터의 호감도를 10까지 달성했을 때 엔딩이다. 엔딩 같은 개념으로 마무리를 표현하는 방식도 좀 고려할 수 있을 것 같아요. 앞으로 이런 섬세한 부분들까지 좀 더 다듬어 나가도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 네. 팩이나 시즌 이벤트 스토리는 분량에 대해서 충분하다는 의견을 주셨었는데 글루톡 스토리는 그보다 약간 낮은 만족도 수치로 나왔어요. 그러니까 우리 유저분들께서 이전 팩이나 시즌 이벤트 스토리는 만족한다고 하셨는데 연애 스토리는 조금 더 길었으면 좋겠다라고 이렇게 말씀 주셨어요.
네. 그리고 제가 중간에 좀 첨언을 드리면 이게 지금 합했을 때 100%가 안 되는 것들이 있을 텐데 그것들은 이제 안 해봤다에 체크한 부분을 이제 빼고 저희가 여기 이제 만족도를 투표해주신 분들만 표시해서 그런 겁니다. 네, 그래서 이제 100%가 안 되는 것들이 있으니까 그거는 참고해주시면 될 것 같습니다.
네.
너무 회의하듯이 말씀을 드렸네요.
다음 의제로. 네. 네, 다음 이제 미니게임 판도라
Okay, so here we have, they're talking about the minigame Pandora Escape, and then when it's available, right? So this is what basically not too long ago I was just talking about, where mini games would become a permanent thing instead of just being open for a special season, so to say, or a seasonal event. And that's where I would find it to be more engaging as well, for it to stay around. Because I know like when Nikkei did theirs, when they started to do theirs, in their archive system, I was very impressed with that. And I felt that, a lot more gacha games that had like a lot of like, mini games that they had in a lot of like whatever type of seasonal event that they do, I feel like that should be honestly just a thing in general with a lot of them. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but me personally, I would love to just see that happen and just be permanent. You know what I mean? Now, they don't have to have like limited time rewards and stuff, but all I'm saying is it would be nice to just have it there available, because like, like I said before, when you get finished with your dailies and stuff, you don't really know what to do and you got some time to kill. That's like one way of like, doing it. And also it's another way of keeping the player engaged with the game itself and also with the content. So that's how I see it as, because you got to think of it that way too, you got to think about, because if a game just simply has daily missions to do, and that's really about it until you have to wait for like a new update to happen to do something, it kind of becomes stale, and then you are just kind of like, okay, well, maybe I'll look into something else. Like, what I'm trying to say, and this is why I say, having mini games stay as a permanent thing besides being just a seasonal type thing is actually better for, staying with the game and the event and all that, and that's how I see it. And I think a lot of games should do that, in fact. I love the Pandora Escape. You heard my take on that already. I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't think there had to be anything really done differently about it. Um, it's just something that's there for fun, really, and that's just what it's there for. I enjoyed it a lot. So that's basically what they were really talking about with this. So I'm gonna just skip on ahead to, let's see, the interaction. Okay, so how did people like special interactions? What did they like about the special interactions? So my take on it was, obviously, I agree with this. I didn't really think that the special interaction scenes. My goodness, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I felt they were fine, and I enjoyed them a lot. I really did, and I don't think anything really has to be done differently with, like, content wise. Um, what I liked about them, well, let's see. The camera mode, I was impressed with that. I didn't think that they would add something where you can zoom in and out of the scenes. I was impressed with that, actually. And various interactions, obviously that's always a plus to have, because it's an interaction scene. The more interactions, the better. you know um and the final leveling up, well, anticipation of, like, getting to level 10 to unlock the interaction scene itself. It's not bad, honestly. I felt it wasn't a grind. It didn't take much time to do. It was literally unlocked in like 4 days, right? And I think that that's how it should be, really. I know, like, a lot of other games, they have, like, you have to go through a ton of somewhat grind to do an interaction type scenario with the girls. I know, like Snowbrick Containment, it's like one way of that. You have to kind of take your time with it, and because, like, you have to talk to the girls. But the thing with talking to the girls, that's not what's bad about it. What's bad about it is, in my opinion, it's like it's randomized. So, like, each day, like on reset, you go and you try and talk to them, but it's like randomized. So wherever they are at in the base, you can really only interact with them, and you can't really, like, keep going to a certain girl and keep, talking to them like so and so times a day. It's like one time a day for interaction, and that's really about it. Now, they have other ways that you can do it through, like, leveling up and, like, where you complete stages, but that can still be a bit slow at times as well. So another example too, Nikkei's now Nikkei isn't too bad with that, but it still is kind of, because, like, if you use up all your, like, your gift items for a certain girl, and then you're like, oh well, now I don't have any more, then yeah, then you have to do it, like, by a manual way. So that's why I said the way that Brown Dust 2 did it, I felt was a lot better. And also, it wasn't, stressful to think of it that way. It was literally done in 4 days, and you're like, there you go. You have the interaction scene, you have some wallpaper to go along with it. It's a win-win. Nothing too grindy about it. Level of expression, to be honest with you, I don't really know what they mean by this. See, what I'm thinking was, like, when I was watching this, I was still thinking, like, do they mean the faces they made? Is that what they meant? In the interaction scenes, that's actually what was going through my head. The one thing I put in the survey for my thoughts were, I feel like what they could have done was they could have add some dialogue or voiceover with them, like, depending on where you touch them in where you touch them in the interactive scene. I felt like they could have made, like, a little noise, something like embarrassed, the shy expression when they make that noise, so to say. I felt like that could have been a thing with it. Also, maybe have them say, like, a line, if you touch them maybe in a certain area, that I guess gets them more excited. I don't know. These are just spitball ideas here. I felt like maybe that could have been a thing with it. But but their expressions themselves, I felt like was really great. But I think a little voiceover, it could have done a bit better with it. It could have like added more to the immersion in it, you know? Despite how like the background music I really do love. It's like the background music for it, for like Loan's and not Nebris because I didn't unlock hers, but Morpheus, I'm sorry, for both Loan and Morpheus, it was really soothing, you know? It fit that vibe that like they were having that encounter, you know, finally, where it was like very romantic, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like they did that right. So let's move on here, right?
잖아요.
아니 이게 뭐라 해야 되지? 뭔가 그 조절 내가 어떻게 제어가 안 된다 해야 되나? 하다 보면 이게 간다 해야 되나? 하여튼 네.
뭘 가요?
그런 것들이
어딜
좀
가요?
있어요. 뭔가 제어가 안 돼요. 이렇게 표현의 어떤 제어가 안 돼요. 그리고 그 상호작용이 있어서.
다 받쳐주고 사람들이 그래서
그쵸.
그래 하고 싶은
네.
거 다 해 하고 이렇게 받쳐주고 있기는 한데 네. 그리고
네.
그 만남 이벤트 스토리에서 만남 이벤트 스토리와 특별
So this was the popularity vote for just the interaction scenes, basically. So a lot of people, a lot of people prefer Nebris, and from what we can see here. So yeah, this was just the basically which ones players preferred. I guess you can say what they found more popular with the interaction scene. I don't have Nebris, so I don't want to spoil it, so I never watched it. The only thing I ever watched with Nebris was what was shown during the 1.5 anniversary. From what he's shown, that's all. I didn't spoil it. I didn't want to because eventually, you know, I'll unlock Nebris's new hire. It's just that right now, I kind of want to be. I want to be surprised. You know, I want to be surprised with it. So I try not to spoil as much as many things as possible as I can. Despite how I really do want to see what it looks like, I'm holding myself back with that one because in the end, when I do unlock her and I do get to see her, it'll be more satisfying, so to say. You know. But out of the two, for me, who I found more appealing with it, I have to say. Now, there's nothing against the other one here. Believe me, I love both of them just as much. But when it came to the content like I was talking about earlier, with seeing a different side, it had to be Morpheus because, like I said, you know, seeing her in a different, you know, light from how she normally is, I was very impressed. And overall, it made me love Morphea even more because, like, she has that side to her, you know? Because in the main story, I just wanted to be like, Latho, you know what you got to do, you know, type situation. But seeing her here, I was like, oh, marry me, Morphe. You know what I'm saying? It was just, you know, that's how I felt about it. But yeah, I felt she was really cute in it. I honestly did, you know. And so moving on then to this, let's see. Trying to do this bit by bit here. So this was talking about, oh yeah, okay. So here we have what did players enjoy most about the overall update. So we see it was the new cutscenes, events from a Gluppy Diner, and the special interactions. So yeah, they even said that they were kind of surprised that special interactions didn't actually place first. It was actually the new cutscenes. I mean, they are spicy. They are spicy, and they do have a lot to offer to anybody that, you know, unlocks them. So I can't argue with the cutscenes now. Okay, you know, I cannot argue with it now. Talking about like Luvencia, I know how like before they had a survey and they went over it actually in 1.5 even, where players wanted Luvencia's office costume to her animated scene to be changed because they didn't really like it, so to say. It was kind of like how Elanir's was. And speaking of Elanir, you're gonna see something with hers. But yes, it was basically like that. But then when like Luvencia's, you know, new costume placed out and that animation scene was like, debuted, yeah, I would say that made up for more than what Luvencia's office worker costume had to offer with animated scene wise. Okay. Now I can't show it on YouTube because, it'll get hit with the 18 plus restriction here. So, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. And also, I'm sure you can find it online too if you look it up. Believe me, you'll find it. Okay. Events from Guppy Diner. I could see there being a little bit more, just a little bit added to it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just a little bit. Despite that, I enjoyed the glue talk and how you can do it 3 times a day and still like eventually get the interaction scene within like 4 days. I believe it's like 3 or 4 days. So not long, not grindy, but I can see maybe some more interactions with like the customers or even the characters themselves with others. And you know how I talked about that, right? Special interaction scenes, keep them coming because I'm sure that the more they do special interaction scenes, this will go like skyrocket. Believe me, I know because like they just starting to do this, So believe me, I think this will skyrocket once they do more. Trust me on that. Okay, Evil Castle. So, I was actually kind of surprised at this voting. More so with this. I was like, what? Like, why would you not want this to reset? You just want it to be like a one and done thing? And that's what I like was going through my head. I was just kind of like, why would anybody want that? Because you're missing out on rewards then. That's what I'm saying. I was just like, so I guess these players don't want rewards? Like, because really the best way to get the material for Ancient Crystal, which is what you need to craft UR gear, is from actually the Tower of Pride. You get the most out of it. And so I was really shocked when I saw this, And then obviously this won hands down. I was expecting this to see this win, because I think like 4 weeks and then the 6 to 8 weeks was just too damn long. I'm like, dude, I'd be there forever trying to get UR gear at that point, So yeah, very shocked with that with the 4th choice there. That obviously you had people that had no opinion about it. Maybe it's because they, I don't know if they cared or not. But to be honest with you guys, I would care. Because that UR gear, tremendous difference in strength. Plus, you do get the most ancient crystals out of the Tower of Pride. So, just a reminder there, that having this reset every 2 weeks is actually the best thing for this. Now, if it was every week, let's go. Let's go then. Okay, let's go.
맞아, 모르피아 좀 귀여웠어. 뭔가 차가운 줄 알았는데 은근히 귀엽게.
그게 이제
끌면서
저는 별도의
Okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead to the Onsen season event. They were just like closing out remarks and stuff. Now this is the new Onsen event now. Now, as you can see, who is this? Who's there in the back? Well, I was just like, oh my, like when I first saw this, I was just like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, is that who I think it is? Is that who I think it is? Like, I was going crazy. I was like, oh my goodness. And yes, obviously. So there is some images I cannot show. Okay. I cannot show because, like I said, I don't want to get hit with the restricted, hammer there. So I got to be very careful with this. Okay. But I am going to show, and you can hear some of what they have to say about it.
시즌 이벤트 온천 수행이라는 타이틀로 준비를 했습니다. 겨울 시즌과 잘 어울리는 이벤트라서 1월에 맞춰서 선보이게 되었고요. 이벤트는 1주차 전설의 졸업생, 3주차는 전설을 넘어라는 이름으로 진행이 될 예정입니다. 종원님께서 스토리 자세히 설명해 주시죠.
네, 이번 시즌 이벤트 온천 수행은 캐릭터팩 1 제이든스 게이트와 같은 세계관에서 진행되는 이벤트 스토리라고 봐주시면 좋을 것 같은데요. 폭풍처럼 등장한 전학생 유스티아에게 패배한 검도부의 주장 벤타나는 자신을 쓰러뜨린 유스티아에게 승리하고자 비장의 각오로 근력 증진에 좋다는 온천을 찾아 설산의 온천에 방문하게 됩니다. 하지만 온천에 방문하자마자 벤타나는 설산 원숭이들과 마주하고 당할 위기에 처하는데요. 위기에 처한 벤타나를 구조한 사람은 전설적인 검도부의 졸업생 블레이드였습니다. 벤타나는 블레이드에게서 검수를 배우고자 하지만 블레이드는 매몰차게 벤타나의 요청을 거절하고 그런 벤타나에게 블레이드로부터 수련을 받을 수 있게 도와주겠다며 온천에서 일하고 있던 리베르타가 수상한 미소를 지으며 접근해 오는데요. 과연 벤타나는 블레이드에게서 검수를 무사히 배울 수 있을 것인지 많은 기대 부탁드리겠습니다.
네.
So there you have it. So that's a little bit of the background with the new character pack here. So it's based off of Ventana and her journey. And yes, they are going to talk about, and I'm sure you guys already know who both of them are already. And I am going to talk a little bit about Ventana too, by the way.
블레이드 얼굴 처음 나왔는데 어떻게 마음에 드시나요, 여러분?
딱 알아보시네요. 저는 블레이드는 알아볼 것 같은데 벤타나는
네.
어떻게 보면 그냥 흑발에 그냥 좀 노멀한 표정을 짓고 있으니까.
Okay, so obviously they say who the mysterious beauty here is, right? The mysterious beauty of a bombshell, and it is Blade. So, yes. I was wondering for the longest time if Blade would ever be actually would either be revealed in the main story, like her mask was taken off, or maybe even a playable character. Now, they're gonna talk a little bit more about this, and then I'll say my piece on it as well. But yes, so this story takes place. Well, it actually falls in the same. Well, they said it even, but I'll just say it again for reiteration. It takes place during Jaden's Gate, so it's in the same world basically. And Mitana, obviously, she is trying to defeat Eustia, but as we all know, Eustia is like a sword master, right? She knows how to handle a blade. You know, even though it's a bamboo sword in Jaden's Gate, she still knows how to handle it. But yes, more or less, I am very, very excited for this story here because like Blade is gonna be in it, and also they are going to mention her. And like I said, you guys probably already know who it is. I was shocked at it. Like I was already shocked when I saw Blade, and when they said Blade, I was like, you know, I had a feeling it was her because of the hair, but I did not expect her to be like in a story pack instead of like a main story where, you know, her face was revealed and everything. That's where I actually would have expected her to be, you know, because I still remember the fight she had with Alec, you know, in Cat Daddy's story in chapter 4 with Ulstein and Rue. You know, like at the very end, Blade and Alec clashed. You know, has that really epic and badass wallpaper for that as well. So yeah, very much looking forward to it. And who is the other mysterious?
그러니까 못 알아보실 수도 있을 거라고 생각을 했었거든요.
채팅창에 왜 이렇게 블레이드 센파이가 올라오나 했더니 저기 그
그러게.
자막에 적혀 있네요. 블레이드 센파이.
아 블레이드 센파이.
네. 그럼 계속 설명하겠습니다. 제가. 네. 그 특별
네.
연출로.
특별 연출로
네.
넘겨주시죠.
이것도 약간 좀 긴장이 되긴
아,
하는데
어떻게
네.
특별
큰
연출
거
여러분
오나요?
특별 연출 기대되세요? 온천이
You saw it, right? It was Liberta. Liberta! Now, spoiler alert, if you haven't already finished the main story, cover your ears and everything like that, or fast forward through this video. But yes, Liberta, you know, the one that pulled that, like, you know, out of the hat type of appearance at the end of chapter 14. You know, because we all saw her get stabbed in the gut by Nox there, right? In chapter 12. She was dead, right? She was dead. And seeing her appear there, you know, like I still can't, like, I still have so many questions. I can't get over it. I still have so many questions to that, right? But anyway, so yeah, Liberta, she is going to be here, but obviously this is a different world, so you know, they're not out there, you know, trying to kill everybody. This is totally different, right? This is a totally different scenario. They just trying to to survive in I guess the school days. But yeah, Liberta, Ventana, and Blade are going to be in this new story pack, as well as it is a hot spring. So
온천이잖아. 온천인데
또 한다, 또 한다.
한번 가? 가. 이거도 한번 갈까? 또 이거 가는. 야, 채팅이 빨리 더 빨리 더 빨리. 채팅 빨리 빨리 빨리. 보고 싶어 보고 싶어. 더. 아 나왔어.
이게 뭐 옷이 없는
알겠습니다.
okay. Just for the sake of YouTube, I can't show that. So hopefully I don't get something said to me about it. But you saw a little bit of the art that was there, correct? Now I do have some images where I was going to actually show you guys some art of it afterwards, like, but I have to be careful with it. Now, this is who Ventana's gonna be, her design. Beautiful, by the way, very beautiful. And I love the towel on her head. Now let me see how. Okay, so yeah, they do talk about that. This is oh my goodness, I gotta be careful here. Oh, no, where's the one with Liberta? So you have the one with Liberta here, and she's with Ventana. They talk a little bit about the story behind it, but you know, I'll sum it up in a nutshell for what they said, just for the sake, you know, of time. So basically, Liberta is a new hire. Her personality in this is like she's very lazy. She doesn't really want to work. To be honest with you, I can kind of see that from her. And Ventana, obviously, she comes here to learn swordsmanship from Blade, and it's basically about it. And other than that, that's really it. It's just Ventana's, you know, story on, you know, defeating Ustia, basically. And then obviously some shenanigans happen in the story from what you hear from what the devs say about it all. And then this is the design for Liberta, and she has a beautiful design, by the way. I really love it a ton. Very different. Obviously, when she was in chapter 12 or story pack 12, we saw her in the nun attire, right? So she went from the nun attire to the onsen attire, the yukata here. Very beautiful, very beautiful, you know? And like I said, like this even said it too, right here, her laziness, like I said. She also went to the same school as Blade as well. So both from different schools in this world, right? It doesn't mention what the school is though, however. And this is Blade's design. Now, unfortunately, Blade is not going to be playable as of yet. They even talk about this. However, they did say that she can be in the future. So, I don't know what type of, like, skills she's going to have. Maybe they're going to match it to how she was, like, in the main story when you fought her. Or how she attacks in, like, you know, the guild wars. Or, you know, those guild boss raids. Like, where you have to, like, you know, go through 3 stages. And I know Blade has always been one of the bosses. So, who knows? You know, they might match it. In all honesty, I feel like they'll match it to her main story for skill-wise. And I'm trying to remember what it was. It's been a while. I think she did pure damage, I believe. I mean, I can look back, and obviously I'll do it on Twitch too. When I stream Brown Dust 2, I'll look into it because I think that's what her skills were based on, was pure damage. But anyway, so they did say that Blade might. Well, I think she is going to be. They even said it, so she is going to be. I can guarantee you that Blade is going to be later on. It's going to be, you know, a playable costume to use. And to be honest with you, I want to save up for her then, if that's the case. To be honest, I would really love to save up for her. So, Ventana, she does concentrated. She has a concentrated English. She has concentrated attack and taunt, as well as I think hers is actually pure damage as well, right? I think it is. You know what? They're going to talk about it too. But yeah, so like I said, so Leatrice, Liberta is going to be a playable character as well as Ventana. So you're gonna get two. So Liberta is debuting, you know, as a playable costume. And Blade, she'll be unlocked later down the line. They talk about it. So I'm honestly looking forward to Blade, you know, because I love her design already. You know, I love that. You know, I even loved her in the main story, despite how yes she was a coitus or a Coicutus. I gotta get that word right. Coicutus. You know, even though she was one of the apostles there, I still really found her to be badass, and also I loved the design of her blade. I really did. I really love. I even talked about it too when I was playing that chapter 4. I really love the design of the blade itself too. But yeah, so there you have it. Looking forward to this new update with them, right? And God, I really want Blade to be. I really want her to come out soon, like before the summer or after the summer, I should say, because like summer wise, I'm saving up for summer. I don't know if I'll go for Ventana or not, just because I don't have her build yet. I would have to build her along with Zenith and see where I can go with that, because the new Fiend Hunter boss, it's gonna be most likely it's gonna be weak against Concentrate.
네, 아쉬운 소식을 좀 말씀드려야 될 것 같은데요. 블레이드는 현재 이제 플레이어블로 출시는 이제 당장은 되지 않을 예정입니다. 다만 이후에 기회가 된다면 언제든지 출시 가능성을 적극적으로 고려하고 있다는 부분 말씀드리고요. 플레이어블로 출시되기 이전에 먼저 스토리를 통해서 블레이드의 매력을 10분 즐겨주시면 감사하겠습니다.
네, 이게 블레이드에 대한 기대감에 채팅이 이렇게 올라와서 그런지 종호님이 좀 쫄아 있는 것 같아요 지금. 저도 잖아요.
네.
So they even said, as I said, you know, as of now. But I know for a fact that she is going to be later, because guess what? They just revealed her. Okay, you know that they are going to have her be a playable character later on. Trust me on that. It's gonna happen. Okay. So, skill cutscenes, as you did see when I was going through here, right? So I got to be very careful with this. I got to be very careful, very, very careful with this, because some of them is a bit spicy with the images, even though they are covered. You know, I don't know, like YouTube takes things very, you know, seriously with some of this. Okay, so I was going to just show some images instead. Okay? Some of them. Because I think they show all. Oh yeah, see, I can't really show that. I can't really show that. I don't want to risk it. Give me a moment here. I'm trying to like be careful with this. So hold up. Let me do this. I have it on Reddit. Okay. So, oh yeah, by the way, with Elenir, this was something I wanted to talk about too when they do talk about it. So this is the upcoming story pack that a lot of them did discuss in the video. And like I said, we all know what this blade is, right? And we know who this is too. I'll talk about more of that, however, a little later. But I already know who this is. It's because of the blade here. You see how they have two different blades? They're both two different characters. But I know who this is already. And you guys already know too. And obviously you see someone here. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's an apostle. I don't know. But I know what this blade is. It's very similar to Eustia's, right? But I'll talk about it a little later. Now, if we go... Oh, yeah, so this is Elenir's new design. Yes, guys, okay, so in case you're curious about this. So, Elenir, this is going to be the new look for Elenir. Obviously, a huge step up from, you know, what players found was too boring at first for her, basically. And now you can't complain. Now you cannot complain about it. You can't complain about it now. Okay? You can't complain about it. This is as spicy as it's going to get, you know? And there you have it. Obviously, we have the nice shot of Elenir here. You can clearly see that, the reflection. very much exposing a lot. Now, I can get away with showing this because obviously she's covered up still, but won't show for too long. But yes, that initially is Elanir's new skill animation that's going to be incorporated into Brown Dust 2 now. And they do talk about later on fixing Luvencia's. They talked about Levia's future skill animation scene changing, where her bust size is going to be matching her her standing animation. That's what they talked about. Now Luvencia, business her business costume, the office one. They talked a little bit about it, like the fixing of the lips. I honestly didn't really see anything, bad about it. I don't know what players went on about that. That's me though, but maybe I didn't see something. I don't know. But I think what they're gonna do with that is they're gonna probably make it a little bit more spicier as well. I don't know. Maybe they'll do that. I actually loved her being on the bike. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I loved her being on the bike and everything, but it is what it is. I don't mind if they make it a little spicier, but I'm just saying I didn't find anything wrong with it in the first place. But that's me. That's just me. It's my opinion. Okay. But also I know the talk with the Yumis from Senran Kagura's. I know that was a thing mentioned too back in the 1.5 anniversary stream that they discussed about. However, it was really only like one piece of clothing, I believe they talked about, which were actually her, her panties. Like, let's be honest, that's just the way to say it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. That's basically what they were saying, because players thought of them as like granny panties or something like that, and they wanted a change, the difference to look. So I think we are going to see something a bit more, spicier, so to say. There's no other way of putting that. So yeah, we got Elanir's new look here, and as well as some heads up here with the new story event pack, which they'll talk about as well, because they are going to talk about that too. So if we scroll up, I can't go by. Oh, gotta be careful with that. I can't screenshot that for too long. So here we have Libertas, own Sid Manager. That's the costume that'll be available, as well as the new Ventana as the practitioner here. And then obviously we have Blade here, but she's just going to be an NPC for the moments, guys. It's only going to be for the moments. Okay? Now, I believe this was the next scene, if I'm not mistaken, right? This was the next one, I believe. So just in case, let's play it.
네.
I'll show you like a brief second. Just gonna be brief. Okay.
저는 우유죠. 네.
넘어가도록 하겠습니다.
넘어가나요? 여러분들 넘어가나요? 채팅 한번.
이미 많이 올라왔어요.
아 그래요? 아 내가 한번 쉬었다가 그거 하는 건가요?
네, 보겠습니다.
Okay, guys. You say that brief second. Okay, it was just a brief second. It was a brief second. I can't show that for too long because YouTube would definitely give me the 18 restricted hammer on that. But you did see a little bit about it. If you wanted to see more of it, feel free to pause it at the time slot there. 48 minutes and 9 seconds in here for this YouTube video, like the one I'm watching right now currently. Like just pause it and then you'll see. Okay, then you'll see about it. Okay, now new mini game. I found this to be a little bit more chill, and they even say it too. So let's cover it.
미니 게임인데요. 이전에 이제 그 판도라 이스케이프의 이제 퀄리티가 굉장히 좋았잖아요. 저희 이제 미니 게임의 퀄리티가 굉장히 좋았는데 이번엔 또 굉장히 또 색다른 미니 게임을 만드셨다고 하셔서 많이 기대가 됩니다. 왜 이렇게 미니 게임에 진심이 되신 거예요?
아 이제 미니 게임을 한번 판도라 이스케이프를 만들고 나서
You saw what he did there? Yo, I love these guys. These guys are cool, man. These guys are a great bunch. Shout out to all of them, by the way. Give them some love. Show them support. In all honesty, they make these streams so much fun, So much more fun when they're around. In the beginning of the video, too, I know this is random, but I'm going to just say it anyway. So, like, he was, like, cracking some jokes in the beginning. If you want to watch the video, it's up on their YouTube channel, on their official YouTube page. But yeah, he was like cracking some jokes here and there, and like even he's still laughing, you know. But his face was red from like laughing, and it was fun to watch them like, you know, get along and everything, you know. You always like to see devs, you know, get into their work and to make even a live stream really fun, you know. And I think they do a great job at it. Okay, let's get into the minigame now. I'm sorry.
이거 너무 재밌더라고요. 사실 개발 측면에서 너무 재밌었어요. 그래서 이제 진심으로 더 앞으로도 만들려고 하고요. 이전에 판도라 이스케이프는 다소 하드한 미니게임이었다라고 하면 이번엔 좀 더 가볍게 즐기실 수 있도록 퍼즐 방식의 미니게임을 준비를 했습니다. 많은 분들께서 익숙한 사천성 룰로 제작한 미니게임 온천 타일 택틱스입니다. 네, 사천성은 다 아시겠지만 동일한 그림이 그려진 블록을 두 개씩 연결해서 제거하는 방식의 미니게임인데요. 지금 화면 보시면 이제 사천성, 익숙한 사천성 화면이 보이시죠? 제한 시간 내에 모든 패를 제거하면 스테이지를 클리어하게 되고 클리어 시간에 따라 별을 최대 3개까지 획득하실 수 있습니다. 일반 스테이지에 수집한 별의 개수가 조건을 충족하면 자동으로 마이룸 가구를 획득하실 수 있고요. 스테이지 클리어에 실패하더라도 이벤트 기간 중에는 얼마든지 계속 도전하실 수 있습니다. 사천성에는 동일한 그림을 맞춰야 하는 일반 블록 외에도 길을 방해하는 바위 블록, 자물쇠와 열쇠 블록, 제한 시간을 늘려주는 타이머 블록 등 특수 기믹이 들어간 블록이 있고요. 퍼즐 게임에 익숙하지 않은 분이라도 무난히 클리어하실 수 있도록 힌트 기능도 제공이 됩니다. 그 다음에 이제 시즌 이벤트 3주차부터는 챌린지 모드가 오픈이 되는데요. 챌린지 모드는 제한 시간 내에 1회만 클리어하게 되면 마이룸 가구를 바로 획득하실 수 있고요. 지금 보이는 그 빨간색 배경 화면이 챌린지 모드고요.
Okay, so that actually wasn't me. That was actually they were having some technical issues with their microphone over there. You could actually hear it a little later in the video here if you watch it. But that's not me. That's not my end. Okay, that's their end here. They even say it too. But anyway, so this is more along the lines of a matching, as you can clearly see. It's very simple, very straight to the point. We even have some of the costumes here. We got Morphia, Rue, Rafina, Ventana, Zenith, Alice, or Glacia, I mean. Lathel, Leckless. So yeah. Oh yeah. Angelica over here too, and I forgot what his name is. I don't use him. I don't even have him. Something, I think his name is like, it begins with a V. But regardless, so it's very straight to the point. Like I said, it's very very relaxing. Not too you know, not too much into it, but it still is very enjoyable. I actually do like matching games like this, you know. So I'm looking forward to it. They also have a challenge mode that they even talk about as well. But I don't have to show any of that because it's just like basically a more difficult process for this, basically. So that's basically what it is. So I'll just go to the guild raid itself now. So this is the new Fiend Hunter boss. Obviously, it's Rue making a comeback. If you guys never played the one where when the track and field for Lowen and Levia were unlocked, she was in that. Like, the cat boss was there. that boss for me gave me such an issue. I don't know, man. Like, at that time, I didn't really know too much about the game mechanics and stuff in the game here. So I wasn't really like, you know, I didn't really know what to necessarily do half the time. And also I didn't really have a strong build as well. But yeah, look at her. Isn't she cute? So this is her.
마물 추적자 자이언트 루는 1주차에 등장을 합니다. 뭔가 루가 조금 더 귀여워진 것 같지 않으신가요? 네. 입체적인 3D로 귀엽게 표현하는 것이 어려워서 조금 더 신경을 써서 디벨롭을 했고요. 이제 예전에는 살짝 무서워서 저리가 죽어 이렇게 막 무서운 이런 자이언트 루에서 아이 귀여워 이제 죽여볼까? 이런 방향으로 이제 좀 수정을 했어요.
사이코패스.
아니 뽑기권 받아가야죠.
Okay, sorry, I do apologize. Like, I'm sorry, their microphone over there was just like going out of control. But yeah, so you clearly hear him saying, like, you know, to make her a little bit more cuter than I guess the first time they had her, right? But this is gonna be the new guild what's it called? Not guild, Fiend Hunter boss. This is the guild. This is the guild boss right here. Oh yeah, and by the way, she also takes on another form. Oh wait, no, this isn't. Oh wait, no, never mind. This is actually another. So they're gonna have two Fiend Hunter bosses. Okay, so they're gonna have two of them. So this is the other one, which is the Snow Mountain Monkey one. This don't look like no monkey to me, but hey, it's a boss, right? Um, and then obviously we have the this is going to be the Guild Raid boss. Design wise, wow, incredible design wise. I love it. I don't know about you guys, but I actually love the look of this one. You know? And what they were talking about here was it's actually not going to have a property. So it's going to be one of those basically like some of the enemies in the towers, they don't have like an element. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult that they were saying. And that's how it's going to be with this one.
근데 뭐
So
맞잖아요. 우리 모두 길드 레이더
네, 네.
힘을 모아서 네,
네.
마음하고 궁뎅이를 모아서 이렇게
네.
쳐들어가는 거. 네.
다 모으죠 뭐. 네.
를 설명을 드릴 건데요. 이번 길드 레이드 보스는 공허의 지배자 루케르 신가입니다. 아, 무속성이에요.
이름이 너무 멋있어.
저도 어떻게 읽어야 돼? 이걸 좀 꼬아서.
So you see that? The no property setting? Yeah, so that's why I said it's not going to have an element, basically. So you can't really counter it with any sort of, like, team. So if this was, like, a fire one, you can't counter it with water. No, that's just an example I'm using. So, yeah. It's not going to have a property to counter it. So it's going to be a little tougher. So we'll see about it. We'll see about it. They did mention DOT, though.
루케르 싱가? 루케르 싱가?
약간
뭐,
그 옛날에
게임이
옛날에 그 축구 게임.
테크모 축구
싱가 이거. 네, 하여튼 무슨 얘기죠? 하여튼 네, 무속성이고요. 무속성은 다른 속성에 있던 길드 레이드 보스들에 비해 좀 더 강한 설정을 가지고 있어요. 기존의 사슴도 꽤 무섭게 생긴 요소들이 있었는데 거기에 좀 더 신비롭게 이렇게 조정을 해봤습니다. 뭔가 미지의 존재 같은 걸 우리 모두 마음과 궁뎅이를 모아 여러분들의 길드를 지켜주세요.
도대체 이게 뭔 소리야 도대체.
이거 본인이 직접 쓰시는 거예요?
제가
아니면
그때
혹시
좀 바빴어요. 바빠가지고.
챗GPT 더 도움을 요청하시는
아니
건가요?
그게 아니고 제가 좀
색소리를
바빴는데
좀 써줘 약간 이렇게.
마음과 궁뎅이를 왜 모아 도대체.
제가 그때 진짜 바빠가지고 저거를 좀 그 뭐지 쓰긴 썼는데 급하게 쓴다고 제가.
궁뎅이 그림이 있었을 때.
그럴 수도 있어요. 궁뎅이로 뭘 하고 있었을 수도 있어요 그때. 하여튼 근데 뭐 맞잖아요. 우리 모두 길드 레이더
네,
힘을
네.
모아서 네,
네.
마음하고 궁뎅이를 모아서 이렇게
네.
쳐들어가는 거. 네.
다 모으죠 뭐. 네. 무속성은 특별하게 등장을 하는 만큼 기존보다 더 강력한 공격을 진행을 하고요. 연속해서 피격할 때 높은 피해를 받는 특징을 가지고 있습니다. 체인을 좀 쉽게 쌓을 수 있는데 그만큼 높은 체인을 요구하는 보스로 네, 그렇게 들어갈 예정이에요.
네. 그러면 이제 다음 내용 보도록 하겠습니다. 컷신 추가에 대한 내용이라서 조금 기대를 많이 하실 수 있을 것 같아요.
So, guys, I hope you guys are ready for a challenge out there. So, if you haven't worked on your teams now, do it now. So, it looks like this new guild raid boss is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But, you know, we always love a challenge, right? On Brown Dust 2. So, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Okay, so this was the cutscenes topic that I just covered with Elenir, and they're going to talk more about it. I gave you a little bit of a summary of what's going to go down. Now, like I said, I can't really show because, you know, even though, you know, technically Elenir is covered with clothes or what's left of her clothes, I don't know. I just don't want to take that chance, okay? But you saw what she looked like, and if you want to go see her again up until this point, just go rewind the video and you'll see. Or you could just go on their page as well and watch the video too. I don't know what you want to do with it. It's on Reddit too. So, but anybody that has Elenir, look forward to it. Okay, look forward to this new cutscene. So no complaining, right? We're not gonna complain now. But yeah, in all honesty, I did feel that the first Elenir animated scene could have been a bit better. So I am happy that they fixed it up and made it, you know, now a bit more engaging here. You know what I'm saying? Like where you can see, you know, I could see, right? I could see it. I could see everything. I see it all. But anyway,
것 같은데.
so
조님께서
네.
설명해 주시죠.
여러분들이
let's see.
기다리셨던 컷신 수죠.
There you guys go. Get a good glimpse. Okay. Now let me skip
Yeah,
ahead.
I-
Oh wait,
알죠, 알죠.
이렇게 저주적이에요.
how to skip ahead. Like I said, I'm not gonna chance it. Okay, so but yeah, Elanir, look forward to her, okay? Look forward to her cutscene. Anybody that has her or uses her, you'll be happy. And this is actually now Elise's Succubus's costume. They finally added the special animation for her, and I've been looking forward to it as well. Now, I don't use Elise just because I have to still build up a nice physical support system. But this is going to be her new skill animation, like I said. Obviously, she has the stockings, the feet, the toes. For anybody out there that, has a thing for that, look forward to it then, But yes, this is going to be it. It's a little glimpse of it, okay? And they even said, like, they talk about it more. They said it'll be released later down in January, so I would say by the end of this month, we're going to have, like, Elanir's new skill animation and obviously Elise's and also Levia's, because they do mention Levia's. And they talked a little bit about Luvencia's, but I think they said that they have to work on it still. So I believe they did at least. Yeah, they do. They mentioned that. Okay, so I'm going to skip it on ahead here. Okay, so quality improvements. Oh, yeah, see the stockings? They really... See, hey, you got to have confidence. You got to have confidence in your work. That's all I'm saying. You have to have it. Okay, summary here very quickly because don't want to turn this video too long. But so what they're going to do here in the main story is... So, you know how when you start off, you get temporary characters and you can't really use your, like, characters you worked on? Well, they're going to get rid of that. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to give you the choices now where you can either have the temporary character or you can have your own. And you can mix them up even. So that's why you see, like, 2 Lysianas. Like, when I first watched this, I was like, what? What am I looking at here? But yeah, so this is obviously the first chapter, right? So basically, if you're starting off, as a new player and you unlock some characters here and there, you can use both the temporary ones in the story, or you can use some of your own that you've unlocked, you worked on, and you can even mix them up. Obviously, you see that they did mix it up, and they even talk about how you can have, like, 2 on the field. So basically, like, you can have, like, 2 Lysianas, and if you wanted, you can have 2 Lathals, 2 Eustias, 2 Wiggles. Basically, your team can be very, very strong. I guess in some senses, yes, but, like, you gotta understand this. The temporary characters aren't OP, okay? They're only leveled up to a certain amount, and it's not even that high, mind you. So don't get too excited with that. They got to keep it, guys, balanced, okay? They're trying their best with this. They're not going to go too over the top with it to make these stages easier to pass. But that's more or less what's going to be going down with that. So look forward to that. And any new players, you guys have a bit of like, I would say, of an edge here now with this new system. I take advantage of it. But obviously when you get to harder stages, then you have to use, your own characters. But that's another story. Okay, so that's basically what they had to say about this. And also this one right here.
설정을 체크를 하면 이후에도 해당 설정이 자동으로 저장이 되었었는데요. 이전에 설정된 값으로 인해서 의도치 않게 모든 제한을 다 날렸다라는 그런 상황이 좀 발생하는 거를 봤었어요.
So this is basically just saying, so you know how if you were to have your character knocked out in like a fight, and then when the fight ends, obviously they're not there, they're like waiting to be revived. Well, instead of always going back to the inn to revive them, you can just simply go on the page here and just like click revive them. It uses ability pills, but I'm assuming it's not going to be super like, costly. You can also, and also if you have a character or costume that has the revival ability skill, you can always just use that. But I would say this is more along the lines of if you don't want to use an ability skill and you just want to, revive them automatically without having to go all the way back to the inn, this is more or less what they're talking about. So I think this is a nice system because, believe me, there were so many times where like I was fighting a boss, especially chapter 14 when I was fighting Nox, that, I had to go back to the inn each time, and then I had to go all the way back. So this is actually a nice system. So I do approve of this. I approve of it. Okay, let's go ahead.
이에 따라서 이제 이전 설정 값이 자동으로 유지되는 기능을 삭제를 하고 하면 좌측 배너
Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this now. I think this was just basically showing what you have, and I think that was really it.
배너에서 코스튬이랑 전용 장비의 보유 상태를 표시를 하고 배너를 클릭해서 화면을 진입하지 않고도 그래서 장비 제작 시에 장비의 희귀도별 보유량 역시 확인할 수 있도록 해서 목표한 장비의
Oh, that's right. So there were a lot of times where I did not know how much I had of an item. Because whenever I went to check in my inventory, I was always like looking like, how do I know how much I have? It was legit the first thing that I did when I was collecting materials and, well, these types of materials to, do like stages that required them. And I was always looking for the number, and I could never find it because it was never there. It was never there in the first place. So this was something that I'm very happy about because now I can check and see how much I have of an item, and I don't have to do it some other way. Like, for example, when it came to the crafting, I had no idea how much of this crafting material I had. The only way I knew that I had enough was basically if I was crafting a UR gear or an SR gear, I would go to the maximum for crafting to check how much I had, basically get a ballpark of it, and that I know how much at least materials I had, right? But now I can finally look and see, okay, so I have this much. Okay, now now I know what to go for. So it is actually very nice they added this. Believe me, it was frustrating not knowing how much I had of something. Okay? It was frustrating. But now I'm happy that they did this. Oh my goodness.
보유량을 확인할 수 있도록 개선을 했습니다.
댓글 중에 아 이걸 이제서야
죄송합니다.
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 네, 넘어가겠습니다. 야 여기도
맞습니다. 네, 이 부분도 이제 그 뽑기화면 좌측 배너에서 코스튬이랑 전용 장비의 보유 상태를 표시를 하고 배너를 클릭해서 화면을 진입하지 않고도 그래서 보유 상태를 확인이 가능하실 수 있도록 그렇게 그 업데이트가 됩니다.
넘어가겠습니다.
그다음 길드 공지에 대한 부분인데요. 많은 길드장 여러분들께서 건의해 주셨던 길드 공지 기능이 추가가 이번에 됩니다. 공지 수정 권한은
Okay, so summarize it. What they're talking about here is, so there were comments made where they wanted a guild notice sort of thing where like something could be written here for like I guess guild members to check out if there were any announcements that were made. So that's basically more or less what they're going to talk about here. And honestly, I can see that being a beneficial thing because it's like if you go to the guild page, you can then see like, okay, so is there any announcements to like maybe a guild raid coming up, or maybe even someone to save up for a banner, and you can just simply read what either the guild leader or the vice leader has to say about it. However, they are the only two that can change it. As always, like in a lot of games like that, it's really only left up to like the leader or the vice leader or whoever is in next, with the chain of command there. So that's basically what they were talking about with this. Now let's see. Now this is actually where I stopped in the video because I had to go do something earlier. So this is all going to be new to me. So let's watch it together, okay?
발렌타인데이 근처가 될 것 같고, 네, 600일 방송에서는 저희 그럼 어떤 내용들 알려주실지 주님 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 예고 방송의 예고 방송. 네, 다음 방송에서는 25년 상반기 업데이트에 대한 계획들을 말씀드릴 텐데요. 무엇보다 많은 분들께서 기다려오신 신규 스토리팩 업데이트가 다시 시작될 예정입니다.
네, 스토리팩 15, 네, 맞죠? 스토리팩 15를 필두로 야심차게 준비한 시즌3의 스토리팩과 그 외 다양한 신규 스토리들을 함께 준비하고 있으니까요. 많은 기대 부탁드리도록 하겠습니다.
네.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they finally are going to now work on the new story pack for the main story now. This is something that a lot of players that even like myself, like even when I came back to the game and I had to catch up, right? And now that I'm caught up, um, I even want like, and I can understand now how a lot of players were frustrated that, we never got a continuation from the main story. And now I understand it, reaching chapter or story pack 14 now that I completed it. Um, I understand now, like, why players wanted to have now a new chapter because it's been a long time, right? It's been a long time. It's been a while. We want to see what happens, right? So, especially after that reveal in Story Pack 14, that was some heavy news right there. That was a heavy, heavy news type scenario that happened with that. So I'm very excited to see what they have in store. Now, now before they say anything, I'm going to say this. I feel this is going to be Blade because of her sword. I strongly feel this is going to be Blade. And I know this is going to be Eustia. Now, I'm not sure who this is here. They apparently have a sword of their own. But I don't know. This character design looks female. I mean, I'm not sure if those are like, tits. Like, breast. I don't know. But from what I'm looking here, it looks like her. I mean, it looks like a female. And this looks like Eustia to me because of the sword. I think this is actually the sword, Mishstein, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It looks like the sword too. It actually does. Obviously, we see the wings as well. So I feel like this is Eustia. I don't know what the new getup is. Maybe it's a future announcement, or not a future announcement, but like maybe a future like showing of a new costume for Eustia with along with Sacred Eustia's, because we only have Sacred Eustia. Maybe this is a variant of that costume. I'm gonna take a guess on that. I'm gonna say it is, but we'll see. That's my guess on it. But I do know, like, I have a strong feeling this is Blade though.
드디어 이제 시즌 3의 스토리가 이제 진행이 되는 것 같은데,
네.
저희가 어떤 이건 글로벌 쪽에서 봤던 동향인데, 팩 시스템을 통해서 이제 이벤트 팩 같은 걸 통해서는 저희가 이제 어떤 젠틀함, 신사다움을 추구하고, 또 스토리 팩을 통해서는 정통, 진중함을 좀 추구하는 두 마리 토끼 전략을 쓰고 있는데, 이제 이렇게 단위로 유입된 분들과 함께 또 오랜만에 진중한 느낌의 부더가 진지해지면 이렇게까지 진지해질 수 있다, 이런 느낌도 전해드리면서 또 만나 뵐 수 있을 것 같습니다. 네, 아직 온천 시즌 이벤트도 사실 시작하지 않았는데 벌써부터 스토리가 또 어떻게 될지 여기 이제 있는 이미지들 보니까 많이 기대가 되는데요.
네.
다음은 저희 이제 준비하고 있는 OST 소식도 좀 더 말씀을 드리도록 하겠습니다.
Okay, so this is just talk about their merchandise and how they're gonna have their soundtrack. It's gonna be available in for buying, and if you're interested in that, here it is. They're gonna add the music from the winter event that they said even to as well. I personally would love to get this too. In all honesty, I would love to do it. They even said that they what's it called? Oh my goodness. Trying to remember. I just had a brain fart. They improved the quality. I mean, okay, so they improved the quality of the sound for a lot of their soundtracks that they were talking about here. That's what I wanted to say. But if you're interested, it'll be available later down the line, and I'm looking forward to it as well. So let's see then. But yeah, that's more or less of what they were talking about with this. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay? I'm looking forward to it. So this is more of them challenging the challenge mode of it. And it's a little bit of gameplay here and there. So, I'm sure that, later down the line we'll see more of it. And honestly, I want to experience it myself too. So this is more or less of what they were doing here with it. and they're having fun with it. And like I said, you gotta have fun with what you do. You really do. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Now this is totally new to me, right down here. So I don't know what this is about, but we're about to see. We're about to see. Look at how happy he is. That's my face right there too. Let's see.
아,
근데 이제 저기서 돌려가지고 동전 그 골드 나온 사람 이제 대역죄인 되는 거야.
대역죄는 되는 거.
성현님께서 돌려.
민심 룰렛.
난 여기서
민심
훈수만 줄
저는
거야.
저는 게임 했습니다.
네, 네.
저랑 성현님이 그러면 돌리실까요?
We got the wheel. Oh, the wheel is back, guys. The wheel has made an appearance again. And if you hadn't seen the 1.5 anniversary broadcast that they did live, this wheel was very generous to a lot of players out there in the community. Let's just say that. This was, believe me, the wheel landing on just all those rewards in itself was just like, dude. Like, they were basically giving us, just free 5 stars at some point. Like, but I'm saying more or less, it was very exciting to just like be there live when I was watching it and just like having it scene happen, with everybody in the chat, saying things and stuff. So basically the last time this happened was we got 4 5-star selector tickets, which is a big deal, mind you. That's a huge deal. And then we also got a ton of like 10 draw tickets as well. And we also got a tier of the goddess as well. That's another thing we got, and then a lot of gold. So and I think it dropped some refining as well, I believe. But overall, it was the 4-star. It was the 4 5-star selector tickets that was like, whoa, like that was like the biggest thing, that happened, along with like the tickets. I think we had like 30 tickets, I believe, out of it. But yeah, it was an epic roll. So let's see if the wheel here is very generous to us starting off the new year. Let's see it. Let's get it. I've never watched this, so this is all new to me.
되게 저거 화면에 돌림판이
저게 뭐야? 여기 있는 거 아니에요, 여러분?
중간에
아니,
누가 붙은 거야?
이게 도대체 얼마나인 거야?
와. 야, 그러면 어떻게
느낌이구나.
한 번만 돌리면 되나요? 아니면은 한 번만 돌리는 걸로?
한번 돌려보고 만약에
네.
혹시나 이상한 게 나오면 혹시나 한 번 더?
그러시죠.
괜찮으시겠어요?
저는 괜찮습니다. 저는 괜찮은데. 네.
뽑기권 드릴 때까지
Oh, they aren't gonna roll it. Oh, they're saving it up for the. Okay, I see what they're doing. So they're saving it up for the 600th day. Okay. Well, we gotta wait. The wheel right now is right now on a break. So we'll see the rolls. I'm sure that they're gonna. This is why they're showing it. I'm sure, right? I'm positive that they're showing this wheel because they're gonna do some rolls on the 600 days. But yeah, the rolls in that anniversary was crazy. It was crazy, man. So let's go see here.
기다리시는 시간일 것 같습니다. 좀 이렇게 편하게, 좀 실시간으로 좀 이렇게 교수님께서
네.
1.5주년 또 마지막까지 좀 재밌게 즐기실 수 있도록. 네. 그러면 총 저희 몇 장이죠?
20장에 아까 몇 장?
Okay, I'm just trying to see if let's see. Just kind of gonna skim through this just for the sake of time for my video. But more or less, guys. Oh yeah, so let me see what this is about. I just saw something with male characters. See, my friend told me something about, because he's also a Brown Dust 2 player. He said to me that there wasn't going to be any more male character like costumes coming out. So I'm not too sure what's going down with that. Oh yeah, see right here. So there are no plans for male characters, and TS is not planned either. Okay, so my take on this, guys, is this. Now, I understand that when it comes to like gacha games with attractive character designs and, cutscenes, animated scenes, things like that, obviously, majority-wise, demographic is like all about the waifus. I get that. I understand that. Believe me, I'm one of them. But I'm not also going to say that, that we shouldn't have any male type characters in the game as well. I still feel like since they are introduced already into the game and the concept of it all, they should actually put some more male characters as well. Because see, if this game was just based off of just female, then obviously I would just say like, okay, well we don't need male characters then. It's kind of like how Honkai Impact Third, they never had, you know, male characters from the very start of their game, so why would they ever start now, right? However, with Brown Dust 2 and even Brave 9 even, you know what I'm saying, like they've had male characters and a lot of them were actually very popular too among a lot of the player base, you know. I found Lathel to be popular, Gray, you know, and Allstein, he's another dude that I found he was really I liked him in the story, in the main story as well. How he always helped them out and everything. You know, so there were like still characters that, you know, I found that were awesome to see and to see develop as well. Alec, I'm still waiting for Alec to be like revealed even more too, because like the only time we heard of Alec was in chapter 4 in Cat Daddy when he fought Blade, and I brought that up before too in this video. Like, but they never showed him ever again. He was just there, he fought Blade, and that's kind of how it ended. It didn't really specify where he went after that or even how that ended, because like we saw Blade appear later down the line in the main story, but you know, there was no mention of Alec or his fight with or the fight with Alec with her. So there's like things that they can't do here with the male characters. So I'm kind of disappointed that there's not gonna be any plans for them, but you know, we still gotta hold on for some hope here, because maybe they'll add some again, and maybe, you know, we'll start seeing a little bit more of them. So I'm still gonna hold on for hope with that. But like I said, you know, I love waifu characters as much as anybody else does. You know, I drool over them too. You know what I'm saying? I drool over female characters in the game, but I think that since they added the male characters already from the start, I think they should incorporate more of them too. So that's all I'll say about it. So let's see here as well. So they're gonna focus on cutscenes, okay? That's always a nice thing too. Oh my goodness, guys. So I've always mentioned this when I played, when I streamed Brown Dust 2. I would always say, can there be a thing where they add more slots for the lobby, right? I mentioned it constantly in my videos on Twitch whenever I played this, and I'm so happy if this could be a thing. Like, they'll look further into it. Okay, I would love for this to be a thing though, you know, because there's so much to choose from. There's like so much to choose from, right? It's like you can't just have what is it? I think it's 8 or 10, but there's so much. There's like so many like, you know, skill animations that you want to like have, but you're limited.
빌려서 클리어하는 것도 있을 것 같은데요. 이제 스토리팩을 클리어하기 위해서 필요한 여러 가지 방향 중에 하나이기 때문에 그것 때문에 들어가는 거다라고 하면 이제 바로 이 연결돼서 생각이 들지는 않고, 일단 그냥 친구 기능이 지금 좀 어떻게 보면 큰 기능이 없이 들어가 있는 거다 보니까 뭐라도 더 넣어서 이제 업데이트를 하고 싶은 마음에 넣을 수는 있을 것 같아요. 그런 차원에서는 저 부분도 아까 이제 악마성
I mean, so I agree with that. I think having more original characters to Brown Dust 2 should go in that direction. Now, I never played Brave 9. I looked up what it was about, and it does have me interested. Now, currently, it's no longer in service, but however, you can still enjoy the standalone version of it now on Steam. So, when I looked into it, it's something that I would highly be interested in. I looked up a lot of the characters too with that, and yes, I did see a lot of familiar faces from Brown Dust 2 in Brave 9, because after all, Brave 9 took place technically timeline wise. It happens after Brown Dust 2, so I did see a lot of familiar faces in Brave 9. However, I still feel that having more original characters to Brown Dust 2 would be the best approach, because after all, you know, I don't want things now, like I said, I never played Brave 9, but I wouldn't want things to get, you know, I guess mixed with like the concept of like characters being released, meaning like if they release like Brave 9 characters more into Brown Dust 2, then it would seem to then tie more into Brave 9 than Brown Dust 2. You know what I'm trying to say? Because like the more you see of something come into the game from Brave 9 into Brown Dust 2, then you're gonna start thinking like, okay, are they gonna then is there gonna be like a hype or something maybe for Brave 9 to come back, or is there gonna be maybe another story that's gonna tie to like Brave 9? Like, you know what I'm trying to say with that? So that's why I said like I agree. More original characters from Brown Dust 2 would be better. It's not. I don't have anything against Brave 9, mind you. Like I never played it, but I find it interesting. I do find it interesting, and also I did see a lot of the characters that aren't, obviously in Brave and in Brown Dust 2 from Brave 9, and I do love their character designs. Also, I did see a lot of even outfits that they've had that I would love for that to be a thing in Brown Dust 2 for like Celia, because I saw Celia. Celia had this like Christmas outfit from what I saw in Brave 9, and also I know Angelica also had an outfit for herself. Grunhilder did too, and I found them very obviously. I would love for that to be costumes for them in Brown Dust 2, but obviously since it's a Brave 9 thing, you want to stick with original content, right? That's how I see it. Despite how I found them to be gorgeous outfits in Brave 9, having original ones for Brown Dust 2, I'd say it's perfect. But yeah, that's me though. That's just me. However, okay, so more or less, guys, let's see. So I'm just gonna skim through this really quick to see if there's anything else. Oh, so actually, that's something that's interesting to see. Okay, so this is something. Now, I was curious about this too, but I never really voiced my opinion on it just because I didn't really see anything that was totally outrageous. Meaning like, okay, so you know how Celia, she has the curse costume, which is obviously she's like a lot older. That's actually her costume or her version from Brave 9 when she's older. She's like 28, I believe. For if you look at their profile in Brown Dust 2, you'll see their ages. So I think Celia is 28. And for the cursed costume now, the Masquerade Bunny one she's 18, and then when she's an apprentice, which I don't remember what the exact costume name is for it, but her third one where she's the apprentice to Eclipse, she's 17. So this is what they're talking about. I'm going to assume, Also, I also thought Seer was always the same age. I guess it's because she just never looked different with her other costumes. Maybe that's why I thought that. I don't know. But Celia, I know for a fact, obviously she's like older now. So.
네.
네.
그냥 그런 생각을 했거든요. 그러니까 유리 두 개의 유리가 되게 다른 캐릭터처럼 느껴지지 않을까? 왜냐면은 어린 유리와 큰 유리가 좀 같은 코스튬 안에서 노는 게 아니라 따로 노는데 그냥 그거는 같은 캐릭터로 묶여 있다 이렇게 느껴질 것 같아서 뭔가.
Yeah, they got a microphone issue still, but okay. So we talk about this. So there are a lot of things where I can see things like the age being appropriate for like physiques and also like animation scenes as well. So that's another big thing that I myself even heard from like, some of my friends even say that like, why are they having, for example, like why do they have Rafithia, with her cutscene doing like being in that type of pose, right? And or you know what I'm trying to say? When this game is more catered to a mature audience, so to say. And I do agree with that because, I mean, lore wise, like for example, I'm gonna just use Rafithia for an example. So Rafithia is an elf, and she's actually is very much older than how she appears. However, though, I do see that, you know, it is kind of an issue when you see something like that, you know, be portrayed in an animated scene that's like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you don't really want to. I don't know. Like it is an issue. I'm trying to explain it in a way that's like it makes sense. Basically, match their animated scene to, I guess, how they're portrayed age, like look wise. Even though their lore might say, like for example, like Rafithia, like she's honestly very very old. Um, I forget the exact number though, but it is up there. Um, but like even though that is her profile saying like, and you know, lore wise she's very old. However, the look of her is the thing that stands out because obviously she doesn't look like she's a mature woman, right? She's looks like, you know, a kid. Like that's a problem then because like if you're doing an animated scene, you got to make it appropriate, right? And I do agree with that. I agree that she has to look appropriate. You know what I mean? Because like I did read somewhere that Rafithia was actually it was kind of a thing when she was released, and a lot of players didn't like the fact that it was like how she was like portrayed as, you know, um, because you got to understand, guys, you know, even though a lot of this is fantasy, it's fictional. There is a vast majority of people still out there that you know they do see this as something that you know you got to be. You can't be portraying that because I'm not going to get into the wording and stuff like that on my video, but you know what I'm trying to say nonetheless, right? So that's what I mean by that. You know, when it comes to like mature games, I guess with more mature characters, it's a lot safer than to do things like make the characters look more provocative than like, for example, Snowbreak Containment. You know, a lot of the character designs and characters themselves are actually, you know, they're all mature women. So they can, you know, in a sense, despite how censorship laws are over there, they can get away with like having them in certain poses, saying certain things, dialogue, you know, interacting. Like they can get away with that because they are more mature, right? So I do see that this can be a thing that can be fixed, you know, with some of the characters, or for just going from here on out with like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, the profile biography displayed is, you know, it's there for like because like obviously all of them have a lore, all of them have a story. It's there for a reason. So, in my opinion, and like I said, if you have a mature look, if the character is more mature, if they're displayed as more mature, then go all out for the animated scene. You can make it, you know, provocative then. But however, if it's the exact opposite of how that is, then you know, got to play it safe. Don't make it too outrageous. No, actually, don't make it outrageous, I should say. But you can make it cute, though. You can make it a cute thing. But don't make it, you know, something that you would see, like, for example, on Elenir. Because Elenir is actually older in her profile, if you look at it. She is actually older. Because, like, a lot of those characters are actually, they're a lot older, even though they're, like, in their uniform. They are actually older. That's the thing about it. So, I would say except for Eustia. Eustia actually isn't, but I'm not going to get into that. But you know what I'm trying to say nonetheless with it, okay? But that's more or less what's going down with this. I'm going to assume. So,
이거는 좀 지양해야 되지 않을까라는 생각을 하긴 했거든요. 유리 같은 경우에 사실 귀여우니까 뭐 넘어갈 수 있는데.
okay. Well, that microphone on their end. Let me just go with this then. So they're talking about Yuri. Because there's two Yuri costumes. One is an idol, and the other one is from her story. I'm not sure if like the microphone issue from their end is gonna affect this though, because I don't want you guys hearing that. You know, if you watch this. A new guest. Okay, so then they're gonna go and talk about the new guests that are added to the Glue Talk.
넣으시거든요. 그래서
Okay.
되게 그거를 근데 캐치해 주신 것도 봤어요. 그래서 대단한 작업자와 대단한 유저분들이다. 약간 그렇게 생각을 했었고 그런 만큼 되게 아무튼 디테일하게 진짜 최고 퀄리티로 넣으려고 애니메이션도 작업을 하고 있으니까 네, 그런 부분도 좀 알아주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
네, 갤럭시 스토어, 원 스토어, 뭐 스팀 이런 데 출시할 계획 없냐라는 질문들이 있으셨는데 네, 그런 부분들 좀 검토를 할 예정에 있습니다. 네, 저희가 이제 24년까지는 좀 약간 그런 그 마켓이라든지 플랫폼을 넓히는 거에 있어서 조금 여력이 좀 부족했다면은 25년에는 조금씩 이제 시도해 볼 수 있지 않을까? 그래서 어떻게 하는 게 좋을까? 이제 이게 사실 마켓이 추가되거나 스팀이 추가되면 이제 그만큼 점검해야 될 소위 말하는 빌드가 이제 늘어나게 되는 거고 이제 그렇게 되다 보면은 당연히 이제 안정성 문제가
Sorry, I was also skimming to see what else is upcoming that I can talk about. But so a new guest approximately every 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know. Do you think that's a little long? I don't know. I kind of feel that's a bit too long because there's like what? That's about a month and a half. So like every month and a half you'll get a new interaction scene, so to say. But also at the same time there'll be new costumes and stuff. So I mean, I don't want to push it, but like I still feel that if that's the case, if it could be a little less time, because obviously we're gonna be having new costumes come out a lot by then too as well. So from what I'm gathering here, if this is the case that they start doing it for like basically every month or month and a half, a lot of it's gonna just cater to most likely new costumes that are available that are basically gonna be showing up from here on out. So other costumes that you got previously, most likely you won't see them have interaction scenes just because, every 4 to 6 weeks, that's kind of a stretch. That's actually a lot of time, but you also got to consider that it does take a lot of work on their end to get all this because it's not only them, designing and coming up with new stories for the characters, but then they have to do the interaction scene. So it is a lot of work. So you got to think of it that way. So, but I mean, like if it could be a little less, that would be nice. But I'm not gonna push it. I'm happy the way that they're introducing this new content now. So I don't have an issue with it. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying. So I'm happy that they actually gave an approximate, number for like how often we might have to wait for one. You know what I mean? Because I really like the idea that that's actually said and stated. So I'm good with that. I'm great with that. So let's see what else we got going on. So I did see, I skimmed through and this caught my eye. So putting Brown Dust 2 on other stores. So like Steam is like one of the biggest. Like I said, Brave 9 you can get on Steam now. And if you want to play the story, you can do it now. And so that's actually interesting because I have one friend that plays Snowbreak on Steam, so I play it from the site itself. That's where I downloaded it from. Okay, so let's see. New ability skills. Okay. I'm trying to think of some maybe new ones that I can even think about. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of ability skills, this is something I didn't state. So Liberta is actually going to have the same ability as Celia with the absorption skill. So you'll be able now to have 2 on the field do that. It's a very fast skill to level up too, by the way. I literally leveled up my Celias like in about, I would say, a week. It was not that long to do. I was impressed on how many experience points you got from it. I was impressed by that. Also, it is a very helpful skill if you want to do it very quickly with the dailies or whatever missions are available to complete a pass, because it literally takes. Now, it's not the entire map. It's the region you pick out of the level itself. So basically, if you were in like Lathel's village, for example, and you use the absorption skill, You would gather all of the loot. That's basically the sparkle type stuff. You would gather all of that and collect it all in one go, and you don't have to go about and do it individually. Usually, what you want to do with that though is if you have Lathel, you would use his ability to see hidden materials on the map, and then you would use the absorption skill because then you get more materials then by doing it. So that's normally what you would really do and how you would strategize that, so to say. Rafithia, it's the same thing except she only goes for the glutes on the field. So she collects all basically the blue blobs you see running around on the map. That's her ability. So same thing as Celius, but it absorbs the glutes on the field. The gluties. That's what you would call them. That's what they're called, by the way. But yeah. Let's see what else do we got going on. So what's talking about here?
라도 전부 다 아마 작업한 걸로 알고 있어요. 그래서 그냥 일반 필드에서의 의자에도 상호작용 기능만 추가하면은 사실 어렵지 않게 넣을 수 있을 것 같기는 한데.
Yuridori. I'm trying to remember who this is. I'll have to look this up, but Yuridori. Yuridori. Give me a moment. I'm going to look this up really quick because I'm curious to know who Yuridori is now. Give me but a moment. You can hear some typing here, so I do apologize. Yuridori. I spelled that correctly, right? Wait a minute. Isn't she already a playable character? Wait a minute. Wait, I'm confused. I am trying to... Wait, maybe I skipped something here?
작업한 걸로 알고 있어요. 그래서 그냥 일반 필드에서의 의자에도 그 여관에서 내가 HP 없을 때 아니고선 사실 보기 어려운 장면이기는 한데. 아, 그치.
I thought Yuri was... Maybe I'm thinking about someone else? Wait, is she from Brave 9? Wait a second. I'm kind of confused with this one. You know what? I'll look it up. Because, I'm trying to So when I look up Yuridori, I'm seeing some costumes for, well, from Brave 9. Is this a costume from Brave 9? Wait, let me go to... Interesting. I don't know.
놓는 거 다 일일이 그리긴 하죠. 작업도 하죠.
앉아 있는 모습, 누워 있는 모습을 좀 자유자재로 보고 싶다라는 언제든 편하게 보고 싶다라는 의견으로 이해.
옛날에는 그 발가락 그리기 어려서 잘 안 그렸거든요. 요즘에는 좀 이제
Okay. So more or less, I think I covered basically everything they had to say too. Let me see if there's anything else before I end this. So Elanir and Zenith, they talk about. So more costume choices for Elanir and Zenith as well. Let's see. Changes to the Mirror Wars end time. Honestly, I think they end quickly. I'm not gonna lie. I find those the reset time for a lot of that ends quicker. Maid character wearing an apron concept. I mean, we have Rubia's, right? Leatrice's as well. Okay. I'm just skimming through this. Hmm. Okay, I think more or less they wrap it up here. So, wait, what's this? Something about a sensitive topic. What's this about?
마련해 보도록 하겠습니다.
네. 언젠가는 제가 이 이야기를 좀 드려야겠다고 생각을 했었어요. 지금까지는 브라운더스트 1을 서비스하셨던 네오즈 팀이 따로 존재를 했었거든요. 그래서 제가 과거에 제가 좀 떠났는데 과거에 떠난 제가 브라운더스트 1에 대해서 언급을 하는 것 자체가 굉장히 조심스러웠어요. 작년에 12월에 이제 브라운더스트 1의 서비스가 종료가 됐기 때문에 이제 이 이야기를 좀 할 수 있을 것 같은데요. 저는 이제 2019년까지 브라운더스트 1의 PD로서 서비스를 진행을 했었는데 브라운더스트 1의 글로벌 전권역 출시하고 이후에 그다음 이제 저는 차기작 브라운더스트 2의 개발을 위해서 팀을 좀 분리를 하고 브라운더스트 1을 떠났습니다. 요거 화면 좀 넘겨달라고 하시는데. 네, 이 과정에서 브라운더스트 1의 PD가 네오이즈 소속의 다른 PD님으로 교체가 되었었는데 이 PD 교체에 대한 외부 공지를 진행을 안 했었어요. 그 부분에 대해서 굉장히 깊이 반성을 하고 있고요. 현재 브라운더스트 2를 서비스하면서 제가 이제 소통의 중요성을 굉장히 강조를 하고 있는데 과거에 PD라는 중요한 역할에서 물러나는 그런 과정에서 유저분들과 투명하게 소통하지 못했었던 점은 아직까지도 굉장히 죄송한 마음으로 남아 있습니다. 그래서 이 자리를 빌어서 늦었지만 브라운더스트 1을 플레이해 주신 유저분들께 죄송한 마음을 꼭 전하고 싶었고요. 저로 인해서 불편함을 느끼셨던 모든 분들께 진심으로 좀 사과를 드리겠습니다.
네, 조금 어려운 얘기일 수도 있었는데 이제 브라운더스트 1 팬분들께 가지고 계셨던 죄송스러운 마음을 좀 이번 기회에 좀 용기 내서 말씀을 해주신 것 같습니다. 저도 2021년부터 좀 잠시 브라운더스트 1의 사업과 운영을 담당했었는데 이때에는 이제 유저 여러분들과 소통이 충분하지 못했던 것 같고 그런 점들로 인해서 좀 불편을 많이 겪으셨던 분들도 계셨던 것 같고 해서 저도 그런 부분에 대해서 사과 말씀을 드리고 싶었습니다.
네. 그래서 이때의 경험을 통해서 제가 소통의 중요성에 대해서 진짜 많은 깨달음을 얻었었어요. 그래서 브라운더스트 2의 방송 4인방 원년 멤버였던 저희 이제 경바오님, 경제님이 떠날 때 유저분들께 바로 최대한 빠르게 소식을 알려드려야겠다라고 생각을 했었고요. 네, 앞으로도 개발이나 운영, 모든 서비스 상황에 대해서 투명하게 지금처럼 최대한 빠르고 투명하게 소통할 수 있도록 최선을 다하도록 하겠습니다.
네, 마지막에 조금 무거운 이야기.
Okay, so from what I'm gathering here, now, like I said, guys, I never played Brave 9, and I don't really know what happened or what led up to the shutdown for their services last month, but um it seems like, yes, he's apologizing to a lot of the Brave 9 fans, because I know when I was reading up about Brave 9, like in the community, it was actually a very big community behind Brave 9. A lot of people enjoyed the story and characters, and even the playability of it too was something that a lot of them enjoyed. They had a lot of collaborations from what I saw um, and read. So I I myself can't really take any offense to something like this or, you know, say anything about it. However, him apologizing along with everyone else here doing the same, I think that's a really big step to do. If that's the case, if players out there were upset with that, I see that as a really a nice thing to do is to apologize. Um, but other than that, I really can't say anything because I never played it. I never reviewed it. I never, I don't know anything about Brave 9 or what even led up to it being shut down. So, but like I said, you can still play the standalone version of it on Steam now. But I don't know anything about what happened. But he apologized along with him as well. Like, they both apologized. So anybody out there that's a Brave 9 fan and I guess was crushed by, the shutdown of that game, because that game, I believe, was out for, I think, 7 years, I think, from what I remember. I could be wrong, but I know it was like out for a very long time. But I guess all we can do right from this point on is like we move on. We see what's down the line and improve upon it, right? So, that's, hey, we're only human, guys, right? We're only human. We can only move forward from things that happen in life. And with that, I'll end the video here, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was somewhat informative. And hopefully I was able to discuss some things here and there. Also, Ventana, since hers is going to be the new costume that's going to be released here. So if you're interested, I would build her up. I would try and get her skill tree there, because I'm actually going to work on my Ventana. I never really worked on her because I never worry too much about, concentrated fire for that, or even taunt for that matter. I only really worked on mage builds and tried to do physical type builds, with chain damage. That's what I worked on and still am working on. So, however, with Ventana, I'm going to see what the PV's like when they release it for her, the trailer videos, and I'll make my decision on that, if I'll roll for her, or if possibly, because like they said, Blade is not going to be a playable costume as of yet. However, since she was revealed, usually that, 90% of the time, they end up getting a release version where they are playable characters. So Liberta, she's another choice too that's going to be available for pulling. I'm interested in her too as well, because like I said, in the story when it ended, that was like a WTF moment, like, whoa. Right? So I'm interested. So hype it up for the new year, guys. Enter their codes, because they do actually have their codes, I believe, on their official Discord as well. And you can also go to their site, because I believe it's also on there too. But you can just look it up even on Google, type in like January codes, and because like I went to look them up. I saw one was available, but it's available until I think the end of, or like somewhere in the middle of February. The codes expire. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy New Year to Brown Dust 2, guys. Let's keep supporting the devs and what they do, and to all their employees out there, to everyone that makes this game so fabulous, so incredible. Looking forward to now the new story pack that's going to be announced for the works. I'm looking forward to this new story event with Ventana, Liberta, and even Blade. So I'll catch you all in the next one. Stay safe and healthy, guys. Happy New Year. Let's make it a great one. Take care.